Which matter is Mr. Bierman? Mr. Bierman,
Yes, Your Honor.
good morning.
Good morning.
Which matter are you on?
Velasquez Hicks was PCC last week, Your Honor. You said we'd treat this week as a PCC because the co-defendant was set for arraignment this morning. So the thought was, I think you said you'd try to grab his file for arraignment and set all the dates at one time.
Who is the co-defendant? Morgan here. He's the maybe on the fifth floor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, we need to know if the co-defendant is here, because I said I would pull file. And if so, I will arraign him now. Who's here in the jail? Do we know who that is? He's scheduled for arraignment at 8:15. He's probably down there. Well, they may have already arraigned him. Can you see if he's got a date set? He has a date set, but for us, because I made sure, but he hasn't been arraigned.
Just hate for it.
This is. What is the date? What date is he set for? His PCC is February 5th at 8:30. And his exam is February 12th at 8:30. On the record, in the matter of pull up the state of Michigan versus John Velasquez Hicks, 25-03769, counsel appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Randall Berman on behalf of the people.
May it please this honorable court, Michael Nichols, on behalf of Mr. Velasquez Hicks by Zoom. I can see and hear Your Honor. Mr. Moss is also in the gallery. He's been working on this case with me.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Velasquez Hicks is actually downstairs in Ingham County Jail. And I don't know that it's necessary to have him transported upstairs for this purpose. I do see that the co-defendant is scheduled to be arraigned right now. He was supposed to be arraigned at 8:15, but it doesn't look like that's taken place. But he does have exam dates. And let me see if these dates work for you, counsel. He has a PCC date of February 5th. And a exam date of February 12th.
Fine with me, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the PCC is not a big deal. Either Mr. Moss or I can handle that. But in terms of the exam, number one, I've got a couple of conflicts. I don't think they'll go, but there's a lot of data in this case. I can't imagine his lawyer will be ready by the 12th. We got a lot of work to do to finish going through it as well. Accident reconstruction, hours of video. I've gone through some of it. EDR downloads from black boxes on, I think we've got 3 vehicles with black boxes, and I think there were, I forget how many vehicles that were involved in the crash, but I don't know if February 12th is going to work for anybody other than maybe Mr. Behrman.
We'll just set it for that, and then that way, when I have all parties here for the PCC on February 5th, I can address the timeline on the co-defendant.
Okay.
I've already found good cause on your client, so we can go beyond the 21 days, so I don't have to address that now. So we'll set it for PCC February 5th. We'll hold the date of February 12th, and then by February 5th, the co-defendant should have counsel, and then we can make meaningful. Sorry, Mr. Blackman. Oh, Mr. Blackman, I guess, is representing the co-defendant. We should be able to decide and hopefully have Mr. Blackman here to pick a date that works for everyone for the exam.
Okay. And Mr. Velasquez is at the building?
He's in the building today.
Okay. All right. I was going to try to do a breakout with him, but I'll just get down to the jail to update him. Mr. Moss. All right. Thanks, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record?
Not for the people, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Putting on the poly number. I think it's going to be Mark Amory for that competency if they can get it in there. Okay. And Halliburton is supposed to run? Do we know?
Unknown, Your Honor. I know that we would be willing to waive, and Mr. Etheridge was going down and talking to Mr. Halliburton about that, and suggesting that. See, talk to Mr. Halliburton. So,
Okay, have we seen Muhammad Murphy?
No, we haven't judged.
not seen Muhammad Murphy.
I see Mr. Goodrich, he's not here, he called the hallway. Make sure he has-
Perfect.
He was in the psych ward, do we know if he's still there? Guess I'm gonna ask his attorney. He's already on board status, I guess, Murphy, for 2 cases. What were those warrants? November 25th. And my note from November 20th is that he was in a site ward, he court order to appear. It said in my note. That's why we reset it for today. Put your name in the jail.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. My name is Mr. Amory. Whom am I speaking with?
This is Judge Simmons.
Judge Simmons. Good morning, Judge Simmons.
Good morning. Okay, you can have a seat until your attorney gets here, okay?
Thank you, I appreciate it. Now, what is this for, please? What are we going for?
You've got several trespassings and several police officer assaults.
I got a question. Is this has to do anything with competency?
Absolutely. That's exactly why you're here.
Yeah, and my
So,
attorney
let's
is.
wait. Let's wait for your attorney, Mr. Palmer, to arrive, okay?
Now, she not be in the courtroom. I was told I'd be in the courtroom by Mr. Palmer, said I would be actually in the courtroom today with you all.
Well, you're virtually in here with us.
Well,
That
some
counts.
things that I could, that my attorney couldn't, he would tell you that I couldn't tell you, or he would say things to you that I couldn't hear. If I was in the courtroom, he would have an advantage over me if I were in the courtroom rather than being on virtual. Because they never told me I had court until just like 2 minutes ago. I had to brush my teeth and so forth.
I'm glad that they gave you an opportunity to do all of that. Your attorney is present. I'll see if he needs to meet with you. He was concerned that he said that he thought he would be inside the courtroom today. I told him, well, he's virtually inside the courtroom
He's
and that
virtually
counts.
inside the courtroom, Judge, for what it's worth. I've been in trial the last 3 days, so I didn't get a chance to meet with Mr. Amory prior to today because of my trials.
No worries. He still would not
Your
have been
Honor.
brought over for this.
I understand, Judge.
Mr. Amory,
No, I haven't spoken to Mr. Palmer. Last I spoke to him, I believe it was early November, and he told me he was going to give me the discovery pack and the police report. I haven't seen or heard anything from him. And if he has a lot of people on his docket, why would he take my case, knowing it's important to me? I don't have any other reason for me not being in court today, other than my attorney not
Sir.
letting me know and representing me.
Sir, that's not why you're not inside the courtroom physically. The reason why you're not inside the courtroom physically is because this is the date scheduled for a competency review. So you have time for your attorney to schedule a meeting with you and go over your discovery. We have not decided if the case can move forward yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
I appreciate you. It's just, I feel like I've been at a disadvantage. Had I known this, I could have been better prepared for this. But I'm telling the truth, so I don't have to worry about telling covering for the last lie I told, like the prosecution in this case.
Okay, well, you didn't have to do anything to prepare for today except brush your teeth and appear, which you did. So you're fine, okay?
Is there any way we could postpone this where I could be in the courtroom, Your Honor? I
No,
really
we're not
appreciate it.
postponing today's court date. Today's court date is going to be handled the way you are appearing today. That's how the court intended for it to be handled. For your competency, you do not need to be in the courtroom. You also do not need to talk over me when I'm talking.
I didn't know I had a
Okay,
court
Mr.
date
Bumper, do you
today.
need to speak with him?
It sounds like I'm sorry. It sounds like I do, Judge, but I am, for what it's worth, I did receive the report and I'm prepared to proceed.
Okay, let's
however the
do
court
that, and then
wants
you
to
can
handle
talk to him
it.
afterwards.
Understood.
Your Honor, I didn't even know I had court today. I didn't even know I had
Okay,
court.
that's fine. That's fine that you didn't know that, okay? It's not it's not a disadvantage to you because this is not a date that we're moving forward with your case as it relates to the facts of the case, okay?
No, it's not okay. No, it's not.
Okay, on the record in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan, and city of Lansing, it looks like, versus Mark Amory. Is there city of Lansing cases here?
There are 3 trespassing ordinances, Your Honor, for what it's worth, find representation on the 3 trespassing matters.
I just need a city attorney, that's the problem.
Anna Buckingham on behalf of the people requesting a practice under the supervision of Mr. Steve Bosnick under Michigan Court Rule 8.120.
Someone's gotta get a city attorney. And she can log in and talk to him now. while we
Thank
wait.
you.
I need to speak, can I speak with my attorney, Your Honor? Can I
Yeah,
speak with
yeah,
you?
he's logging. Sir, calm down. Okay,
I don't
control
know.
yourself.
Everybody's
Control
yelling
your-
at
I
me
need you to,
in this
but
jail.
calm down.
Listen,
But calm
everybody's
down.
yelling at me
But
in this
calm
jail.
down. I told you to calm down.
Look, you yelling at me too. Everybody yelling at me in this jail. I'm trying to try to be the
I
best
don't know
person I can.
I don't know what's going on in the jail. I'm not there, but you're gonna calm down in the courtroom, okay?
Not
Have a
yelling.
seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Your attorney is logging in to meet with you.
Everybody out of order.
You're the only one out of order in here today.
mistake when he's on his way up.
Thank you. Responded to this with
Oh, yeah.
it. So we can move on. And Mr. Staples is here, so we don't want to take too
He
much of
also
his
wants me
time.
to, I'm not gonna do this, but he wants me to address certain issues.
Oh, hello, can I speak? Can I say something, Your Honor, please? Can I?
No,
speak?
you can be
Mrs.
quiet.
Brown?
You can be quiet. You can be quiet, sir, okay? Because I need to call the case. Or the case is. Thank you, Mr. Staples, for coming down and assisting with this. Let's see, on the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing and the state of Michigan, I have file numbers 25-02595 versus Mark Allen Amory, 25-02796 versus Mark Amory, 25-03233 versus Mark Amory, and 25-03278 versus Mark Amory, and then 25-03343. Can I have council appearances, please?
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Hannah Buckingham for the people on 03343.
Thank you, Your Honor. Robert Palmer, the Public Defender's Office. I represent Mr. Amory on the 2 felony files. Mr. Amory, my understanding is that he declined our office's representation of the 3 misdemeanor files with the city of Lansing.
Okay, very good. And Mr. Amory is here for competency. There are again 3 trespassing files. And it looks like 2 police officer assault, and then there's an assault robbery. I do have a competency report for these files, dated prepared January 20th. Did each of the attorneys receive a copy of the report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the opinion of the evaluator is that at this time, it is the position that Mr. Amory is not competent to stand trial. They believe that he could be restored within a time frame under the statute. Any reason to object to the body or the conclusion of the reports?
Your Honor, the state will defer to the report.
City will defer to the report as well, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I don't believe that the defense has any basis to object at this time, so I would imagine that the report will.
Thank you. The court will adopt the report incorporated into the court files in the court record. The defendant will be ordered to undergo treatment to see if he can be restored to competency within the statutory time frame. I do have orders here that I will sign and date for today. Let's see. And the court did have to remand him because he was not compliant previously. So he was remanded for evaluation. I think he needs to remain in custody so that he can receive the treatment. I don't think that he'll receive treatment or be compliant if he's released. I don't know if that's what he wanted you to address. Was it bond or was it something else?
There's something else, Judge, if I could just make a very 30-second quick record.
Yes.
Judge, so that we have a clear record, I did try to meet with Mr. Amory this morning via Zoom. I've been in trial for the last 3 days and had not had an opportunity to meet with him discussing this recent opinion. I think Ms. Nash just emailed it to us maybe Tuesday. I did try to meet with my client. He advised me that he does not want my office's representation any longer. I don't think he's able to make that decision at this point in time, so I will make that record. Mr. Amory also has I guess I would say he wants me to advise the court that he disagrees with the opinion, but nonetheless, it is the opinion of the forensic center, and so we're stipulating to it on.
It should also be noted that while the court is conducting this hearing, Mr. Amory had to be muted so that the court can meaningfully move forward with the proceedings. He refused to speak to you after demanding to speak to you. And now he is currently using a piece of paper to cover up the screen so that we can't see him. So he's definitely not in the position to make a decision about his representation while deemed incompetent. If he would like to address that once and if competency is restored, we can address that issue at that time. Any additional matters for the record?
Not from the state.
None from the city, Your Honor.
None
Thank
from the
you.
defense, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Send me an email saying he is stuck in the lockup procedure-wise, I guess it's a long line down in the.
Well, this is not the date and time to counsel. This is the date and time for prelim. So we're gonna go and bring up, you can go bring up Halliburton.
Your Honor, just to let.
For
I gave him the jury
Melanie
instructions.
Wanji, Christina Lopez, Innocent Oriental, and Raylan Wheat.
Okay, do we have Murphy here?
I was there too.
He is not here, and I think he's out.
Okay, we did issue a bench warrant.
Yeah.
We saw he was already in warrant status.
I had to do with this.
Yeah, I left the
So,
certified.
get me in
I didn't have to say that, so you didn't need tomorrow.
Was he still bored?
Do we know, do we know if Murphy's still on the psych ward?
The situation was that the victim was in the psych ward.
Oh, got it.
Mr. Murphy, I've been contacting through Washington CMH. I tried to get in contact with him, that has not been.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yeah, we haven't had any luck, getting contact with the victim either. Since the psych ward situation.
I know, but I guess I'll leave here.
Ms. Robinson, are you ready to go with Mr. Thompson?
I'm sorry, were you checking me in?
Yes, are you ready with Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Luther Thompson, 26-00078, appearance, please.
Anna Buckingham for the people. Karen Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Thompson.
Okay, Mr. Thompson has a assault with a deadly weapon and a domestic violence second. Are we prepared to proceed today?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, we are.
How many witnesses do you have?
I have 2 witnesses, Your Honor.
Any preliminary matters?
We would just ask for the rule of sequestration.
Registration is ordered.
Preliminary matters for me, Your Honor. We'll call Charlotte Glenn. What's the plan? Yeah, we're gonna go up on this.
Right
Right
here.
here, right here.
We're gonna come in here, right here.
Oh.
Before you sit down,
You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? Yes. You can have a seat. Okay, ma'am, there is a microphone that's in front of you. The purpose of that microphone is so that the lady that's behind you can pick up on the recorder all the things stated in the courtroom. It does not amplify your voice, okay?
All right.
So you need to keep your voice loud and clear. All your responses must be verbal, no head nods or head shakes, because we can't understand that on the record.
All right.
If you have a yes or no question, you need to answer yes or no, no mm-hs and uh-huhs, okay?
Okay.
If there is an objection from either of the attorneys, you'll stop speaking immediately. It requires me to make a ruling on that objection and then advise you if you're allowed to give us the answer or not, okay? Please state your first and last name and then spell both.
The first name is Charlotte, is Charlotte. The last name is Glenn, Glynn.
Proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hi, Miss Glenn. Do you know someone named Luther Thompson?
Yes,
And who is Mr. Thompson to you?
he's my son's father.
Okay.
And a good friend of 50 years.
Okay. And you have one son together?
Yes,
All right. Do you see Mr. Thompson in the courtroom?
yes, I do.
Would you mind pointing out where he's located in article of
He's
clothing?
sitting to the left. and back there.
Okay. Your Honor, can the record reflect identification of the defendant?
Any objection?
No objection.
So noted.
Ms. Lynn, I'm going to take you back to January 11 of this year.
Okay.
On that day around 6 a.m., were you in your apartment?
Yes,
Okay. And is that the apartment with the address 720 West Ottawa Street, apartment 305?
yes,
Is that in the city of Lansing, county of Ingham?
yes,
And was Mr. Thompson also in your apartment at that time?
yes, he did.
All right. Around 6 a.m., were you asleep or awake?
At 6 a.m. that morning.
Yeah. You
I
remember?
really just laying.
Okay. At some point, where were you? Do you remember where you were sleeping that night?
From the bed to the couch.
Okay. And at some point, did you wake up and see Mr. Thompson in the apartment?
Yeah, he was there when I went to sleep.
Okay. And what was he doing when you woke up?
No, me and him was, well, we was up together. I went to bed and he stayed up. I
Okay.
guess was doing his little odds and ends that he does. And I got out the bed and I went down on the couch because my cable had got cut off. So I went in the front room to watch the TV because I could get my station.
And was Mr. Thompson there with you on the couch
You know, he was sitting in a chair,
in a chair? Okay. And was that near the couch?
like across, before I meet him.
Okay.
Mhm.
And do you recall? And how far, if you had to estimate, do you know how far from the couch that chair was?
You know, yes, yeah. Like I said, for me and him distance.
From you to,
You got
This
to
man?
there, yeah.
okay, let the
I have a
record,
little small apartment, I have one bedroom, so my phone is not even this big, it's like that.
okay. Your Honor, if the record could reflect that she indicated the distance between her and Mr. Fosnick.
So about 6 feet, maybe? You think, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And when you woke up and saw Mr. Thompson in that chair, what was he doing at that time?
Well, he does these little odds and ends jobs, like he was, like fixing his clothes or fixing his zipper. I think he had a pair of pants that he was fixing, he had was putting another hole in his belt loop.
So at that time, you think he was working on mending pants?
Well, he always doing stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like, you
Okay.
know, putting decorations on stuff. That's what he does.
Ms. Lynn, do you recall talking to an officer Stelgis on that day?
Yes, I do.
Do you recall telling him that at that time you had seen Mr. Thompson potentially doing drugs?
Yeah, me and him both were.
Okay. What kind of drugs were you doing?
I was doing the crack cocaine, me and him was.
Okay. And when you woke up and saw Mr. Thompson, did you begin to have a verbal argument with him?
Yeah.
Do you recall what it was about?
It was something, a quote that I had ripped to him a couple of years ago.
It was what?
a coat.
That you had what?
I had cut up a couple of years ago.
Okay.
We
Okay.
didn't both cut each other coat. He cut this coat. Now, you know,
Okay.
it's back and forth.
And during that argument, what did Mr. Thompson do? What actions did he take?
Nothing, it was just, you know, a verbal name.
At some point, did Mr. Thompson make a threat towards you?
You know, he just said he'll slap the shit out of me.
He said he'd slap the shit out of you? Okay. Do you recall?
If I didn't be quiet, because I got a mouth too.
Okay. Did he at any point have a weapon?
Well, the weapon that he had was the weapon that, I mean, it's not like he came at me with it. He had the knife put in a hole in his belt,
What kind of knife was that?
a little pocket. It
Okay.
was a black knife that had been there at my house, and I gave it to him that day. Like I said, I hadn't seen him for like 3 months. He'd come back and forth, you know, he'd visit me, stay a couple of days, you know what I'm saying? And then I might have sent him like 3 days. So
And-
the zipper on the pants was messed up. And he had the, he was sitting in the chair. And me and him was arguing, I mean, I really argued.
And at what point did he pull out that knife?
No, he had it in his hand.
He already had it?
He already had it in his hand, so when we was arguing, he had it in his hand.
Was it only one knife or were there multiple?
I just seen the one black knife that I gave to the officer.
Okay.
Because they left 3 at the house.
Okay.
Because he always carries a knife, you know, on the side of the pants and stuff like that. So I didn't know he had those many knives. But
Do you recall telling Officer Stelgis that he had pulled out 2 pocket knives?
no, I probably did. I really don't know because,
Okay.
like I said, me and him both.
Okay.
I probably said things that wasn't true, and then I probably had it on a little bit, but yes, he did have a knife in his hand.
Okay. And when he had that knife in his hand, what did he do with it?
Nothing, he just had it in his hand.
Okay.
But he didn't have it in his hand like at me, he had the knife in his hand. You know how you move your hand and stuff like that, we're arguing back and forth, and I said I had said something about his dead mother, and I think it kind of pissed him off.
Okay. And do you recall telling Officer Stelgis that Mr. Thompson was attempting to swing those knives at you while you laid on the couch? You don't recall saying that? Do you remember?
I mean, I'm trying to remember, there was a while back, and like I said, we had been out using drugs,
Mhm.
you know, and I was, you know, kind of like, I don't, but, no.
Do you remember laying on the couch if you had a blanket?
I had I had a couple of blankets. Sometimes when I throw it off or I put the blanket under the blanket.
Do you remember at any point Mr. Thompson swinging the knives at the blanket?
You know, not at the blanket, he was taking them. Well, you know, like I'll say again, this is my front room. You have to go around. And he was standing at the island, but he was taking the knives in the island. You know,
Okay, so he was taking the knives and he was,
And he said something about my mother again, you know, I was wrong for that. You know,
Okay.
I was slapping the shit out. That's what he said. So this word slapping the shit out of me. Okay.
do you recall telling the officers if he said he would stab you with the knife?
You know, I said I was afraid.
Okay,
I didn't know.
I need to back up because I didn't understand what she was saying about the island
yeah,
I have
I
an
can
island,
relate.
you know, like in your house,
in the kitchen.
in the kitchen, yeah.
Okay, what was happening with, he was doing what with the
I was
island?
laying on the couch and he was at the sink. He was an island in the sink.
Okay,
And he was standing at the sink and he was just, you know, taking a knife. I guess he was taking it out on the sink instead of me.
so he was banging the knife on the island is what you mean?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Okay,
You know, and it had the sink.
got it.
And he was standing at the sink. And he was taking it, and he was gonna be,
So at the time, he's not in the same room with you?
nope.
All right. So, Ms. Lynn, other than the knives being swung, was there any other physical contact made between you and Mr. Thompson that night, morning?
Well, I had called, I just wanted him to be quiet because I live in an apartment. And it echoed, and I've already got a couple of warnings from the landlord. So it was 5 in the morning, I kept on acting, I said, just be quiet, so I called police, a couple of times I asked.
So before you called the police, did he at any point make physical contact with you?
You know, just like from, again, well, probably from right here, I was standing on the couch. I was
Okay.
laying on the couch, and he was standing over.
Just standing over you with the knives?
I didn't see the knives in his hands back then.
Okay,
But
but
he
you
said
did
he-
see the knives eventually. At what point did you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the knives?
Because it was 5, it was dark,
Mhm.
And I told the officer the same thing. He kept on saying, well, what hand was that? And I told the officer, "Look, I can't say that I see the knife. I mean, he had the knife
How did you know he had the knife?
because he was sitting there fixing the zipper on his pants.
Okay.
And then he was hitting it in the eye.
So you remember him standing over you and you assume the knife was still in his
And
hand?
he would say, bitch, I'm sorry, if you say something about my mother again, and I was wrong, because his mother just passed a couple weeks ago, and I know. that,
I want to talk about what did he say though? Not about what you was wrong saying. He said, if you say something about my mother, what?
Don't say nothing about my mother again, because you know that my mother has passed.
He said that,
He did this one, he said, but it, and I said,
but
because
he didn't say, if you say something else about my mother,
No, he was saying.
because that's what you just previously said.
Well, what he's, no, okay, so he said, I said something about his mother, and he said, if you say anything else about my mother, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna slap the shit out. So that's what I just said previously.
And Miss Lynn, did he end up slapping you?
No, he knocked the phone out of my hand because I was on the phone with the 911 operator. And the operator was still on the phone when the phone fell to the floor.
And do you recall telling Officer Stelgis that he hit you on the right side of your head with an open hand?
I had the phone like that. On
Okay.
the phone. And so he knocked the phone to keep from me from talking to the police.
And in doing that motion, did he make contact with your face?
Well, yeah, probably did with the phone, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing like- I mean, ain't like he did with Kristen, he tried to knock the phone, I had the phone in my hand. The operator stayed on the phone all the time until the officer stopped it.
Miss Glenn,
So she heard everything too.
Miss Glenn, do you remember telling officers that at one point Mr. Thompson yelled, "I'll stab you," while swinging down at you with the knife?
Because he didn't swing.
You don't remember him
No,
saying that?
He
Or
didn't
you-
swing the knife at all. If I said, I'm gonna say this. Hell, that night I was very frustrated. I was high on drugs and we was arguing, and it was arguing about was drugs.
Mhm.
Because he had switched to another drug, a drug that. I
So the
never
fight
took
was
before.
about drugs.
The drugs. And I told him I never want that back in my house again because I've seen the situation that I do not like. to see.
And that made him upset that you were talking about the
And
drugs.
Yes, and the hot and the yelling.
And did that cause him to then take that knife and stand over you
Well, he
because
was-
of the drug argument?
Yeah, to in a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. And did he swing down at you with that knife?
no, he did not. He had it in his hand.
Okay, so he's standing over you with the knife.
With the knife in his hand, still.
And it's your testimony that he didn't say that he would stab you?
You know, he said he'd slap the shit.
Okay.
Slap the hell out of you, Harvey. But he said, keep on talking, I'm gonna slap the hell out
And you don't recall telling officers if you said that?
of you.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross exam.
Ms. Glenn, right?
Yes,
All right, Ms. Glenn. So in the morning, you stated that you were sitting or you were on the couch, correct?
yeah,
And Mr. Thompson, he was on the chair,
yeah,
and that was about 6 feet apart from each other?
yeah.
Okay, so when the argument was occurring, was this when he was still about 6 feet away from you?
Oh, we were arguing all through the house. We were arguing in the bedroom, I was in the bedroom. We arguing and just, stuff, because when I woke up, I kind of dozed off. And I kind of noticed that he had switched to another drug. And then that's when the argument really started, like 4 in the morning or something like that. And I told him I don't want that in my house. I'm on Section 8. If they catch that stuff in my house, because this is the second time, the officer in the ambulance will have to come to my house because of that other drug. And so that scares me because I have seen him in situations near death. Like for him to do it, I don't like to get around that. And I don't like my house. Now we were doing the crack cocaine together. We have been doing that for years together.
Okay,
But the other stuff, I don't like, I don't like that stuff.
right. And so, but when this main argument was happening, were you guys about 6 feet apart from each other?
I mean, ma'am, I just can't say, like I said, I was in the bedroom, he was in the front room, we arguing back and forth.
Okay, so you guys were in separate rooms.
At first, yeah, we just arguing all through the house, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that, us like one certain just area where arguing started at.
Okay,
I believe that's the reason why I got off the couch. It came in the front room because my neighbor's bedroom was right above mine. So I said, let me go in this other room here and then maybe, and I kept on saying, kind of keep it down, because I already got a notice that if any more loud noise coming, I will be evicted, and that's what I'm going through now, is an eviction because of the same mess right here.
Sure, I understand. All right, now you stated that when he was sitting in the chair, he had a knife, but he was using it to fix his pants, correct?
Yeah, he fixes pants, he do little stuff like, I mean, he do little things, but stuff like, he put on his shoes, or, I mean, he knew the doing for years.
Okay, so he often has a knife and is often fixing things in the
Fixing
chair.
things, yes, yes, he does, and the zipper on the pants was broke. So then that's why he was sitting over there, and he had the knife in his hand. Yeah, and it's a black knife, a black pocket knife.
Okay,
Because it had been in my house all this time, so when he came, he had just came that night, he went in there, well, he spent Saturday, it never was, he was there for one day. And I said, oh, here go your knife, and he said, oh, so I remember that was the simple.
okay. And it's your testimony today that he never threatened you with the knife?
You know, he did not threaten, he had it in his hand, and he told me, if you keep on talking, I'm gonna slap the hell out of you, but all the time, you got this knife, and you know what I'm saying, I don't even know how the drug went to you or whatever, I was just out.
Sure, but he never like came at you with the knife, never used it, or never said that he was going to stab you,
And I
correct?
told him, say, put the knife down, and let's argue. Put the knife down, let's argue. You know what I'm saying, he walking back and forth, and we were just arguing like that, but my most, it was 5:30 in the morning, my neighbor had to be at work at 6.
Sure.
And they have complained and stomped on the walls and banged on the walls, and it's all, the only thing I wanted to stop was that and the drugs.
But he never said that he was going to stab you with the knife, correct?
You know, I've been knowing him for 50 years, our son is 45 years, this is the first time that he's ever. And I was telling Ms. Diamond that, you know, in the statement, and the lady right here, the prosecutor. When she called, she talked to me, it's the first time ever, but it feared me because of the drugs.
But when he said this, he was in the,
There wasn't no certain room, we was arguing back and forth. When he said he'd slap the hell out of me, I was on the phone with the 911, and then when he knocked the phone out of my hand, so I guess it was the backside.
Okay.
And that's what it stopped me.
I guess I'm talking about the time with the knife. You said that he was in the kitchen at this time, correct? And you were in the room with the
He left
couch.
kitchen and he came in there, he said, if you say anything else, you say something about my dead mother, then I will slap the hell.
Okay, so he was some distance away from you.
Yeah,
And
when the argument started, but.
well, I'm talking about that specific time when
No,
he,
he was standing right over me then,
okay,
because I was on the phone, you know, he can't be 6 feet away and knock a phone out of my hand. He had to just stand there.
well, I guess I'm not talking about the time when he knocked the phone out
Oh,
of your
okay, well,
hand.
that's the time when he slapped me.
Right, so I understand that you're stating that he did slap you, but the time that you said you saw him with a knife, then, and he had the knife, he was in the kitchen, correct? Is that what you said earlier?
At first, he was sitting in a chair. I'm saying it again, I get it together, I'm trying to keep it together. Like I said, it was a while ago, I was high on drugs, don't sleep. He was sitting in the chairs, I have a little oriental chair. And like I said, for me and him, he was sitting over there, me and him arguing, and he was like, with the, fixing the pants, the zipper with the pants with the knife. But then when we got to arguing, he got heated. You know, I don't know if he meant it or whatever, but he was standing over me, but he had the knife in his hand, but not in a motion to stab me or hurt me. I was just afraid because of our other drugs. And I know I had friends that got killed, that their husband has killed them high and don't remember it the next day. So that's all I was thinking about at that time, which was trying to calm it, you know, down. I called the police 3 times, and the police was on the phone the first time. And the only thing I kept on saying, I said nothing about a knife. I didn't call them about no knife. When I called the police, I said, come and
Your
get
Honor,
it.
at this point, I object to narrative.
Did you want to respond to the objection?
Your Honor, I think she's just asking the question that I asked.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree that she is going beyond the scope of the question, so I'm gonna sustain the objection.
Okay. I'm just trying to get it out.
You can continue.
All right.
I have no further questions.
Direct.
Shortly.
Ms. Glenn, you just stated that at the point it got heated, he was standing over you. Do you remember just saying that?
The whole argument was heated.
Okay.
But when I said something about his mother.
It escalated?
It escalated, yeah.
And at that point, when you just told Ms. Robinson that he was standing over you, had a knife, you said he didn't swing down on you, right?
He just had it in his hand.
But at that point, Were you on the couch?
I was laying on the couch and I threw the cover back and I raised up.
You threw the cover back?
Well, the cover was on me.
Oh, the blanket?
And I
Okay.
threw it back to the side. And then he walked away. He walked away one time.
Mhm.
Then he came back again.
Okay.
So that's when I threw the cover up. I said, well, let me raise up. I just had a friend, her husband stabbed her 40 times on drugs.
I'm sorry to hear that, Ms.
So my mind was at this point, right here, I don't know what may happen.
And you were concerned about what would happen
I
next?
was, yeah. So,
I understand that. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Lynn.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay, I just need to clarify. So he came to where you were. How close did he get to you when he came and had the knife in his hand?
I was laying on the couch.
So is he's standing just over you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because I have a
okay.
little armoire in front of the couch.
You have an armoire in front of the couch?
So I had scooted that back.
Okay,
And so, from the distance from my couch to here and there.
and he came, and is that when he said that he was going to smack you?
He said, yeah, when I had the phone in my hand.
No, but, so you didn't have the phone in your hand then at this point, though? You said you're
I
laying
called the
down.
police 3 times, but I don't know what moment that was.
You don't know which time this
Yeah,
was?
I don't know which time of which. I called him 3 times, the first 2 times.
Okay,
The officer was just talking to him.
okay.
Have a seat.
But you called the
be
police
quiet.
because you were concerned that he was
So I
going to
called the
stab you?
police because I wanted him out of my house then because of the hollering and the.
Okay,
And that's what, and if you run the tape back, you will hear everything. And it said, and the officer was on the phone. And
okay.
he kept on saying, ma'am, what's the address? What's the address? And I kept on saying, you want to be quiet? I don't want to send you to jail. I don't want to send you to jail.
Okay,
First
so
time.
let's go back to the specific point, though,
Mhm.
where he comes, you said he comes before you and you can see a knife in his hand. Where
Yeah.
was, how was his hand positioned when he's walking to it?
Oh, so like this, the way he.
I
had it,
can't see you.
like this.
His hand's like that.
But like this. He
Okay.
had the knife. And then I worked it. And that's how I know he had the 2 knives. And he was hitting me up.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Any questions based on my question?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Glenn, you may be excused. Thank you. You have any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The people will call Officer Stelgis. Officer Stelgis.
Start.
Stelgis.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
You can have a seat. State your first and last name and spell both.
Tyler Stelgis, TYLER, STELLJES.
Give a seat, please.
Morning, officer.
Morning.
Where do you work?
City of Lansing Police Department,
And how long have you worked there?
over 9 years.
Okay, and what is your role at the police department?
I'm a patrol officer,
And what are some of the duties involved in that role?
responding for crimes in progress, handling citizen complaints.
And were you working in that capacity on January 11, 2026?
Yes,
Around 6:04 a.m. on that day, were you dispatched to a 720 West Ottawa apartment 305?
yes.
Do you recall what the purpose of that dispatch was?
We were dispatched to a stabbing.
Okay. And when you arrived, did you enter the apartment?
Yes,
Did you come into contact with a female in that residence?
yes.
And do you recall her name?
Charlotte,
And do you recall her last name?
Glenn,
Thank you. And do you recall what Miss Glynn's demeanor was at that time?
she was upset. She was kind of speaking loudly. She was just overall upset.
Okay. And did you see anyone else in the apartment?
Yes,
Who did you see?
the defendant, Luther,
Okay. Was that Luther Thompson?
yes.
And where was Mr. Thompson located when you found him?
In the living room area.
And what did you do next?
We immediately grabbed him and secured him in handcuffs behind him.
And did you speak with Miss Glynn at that point?
I did.
And as a result of your conversation with Miss Glynn, did you and officers look for anything in that apartment?
In the apartment? No.
How about in general at the residence?
We tried to obtain knives that were allegedly used during the assault.
Okay, and was it your impression that there was one knife that you were looking for?
It was two knives.
Okay, and did you have a description of those knives that you were looking for?
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you end up finding those knives?
We found the officers located several knives on Mr. Luther, yes.
Okay, do you recall where they were located on him?
No, I don't know.
And officer, did you notice anything else in the apartment that caught your attention? Was there anything that Miss Glynn, objection leading?
Did you want to respond to the objection or
I can
rephrase your
rephrase.
question?
Thank you. Officer, you had said that Miss Glynn, what was her demeanor again?
She visibly upset.
Okay, and did you identify yourself as an officer to her?
I don't remember if I introduced myself as an officer. but
Were you in
she-
uniform?
Yes,
Okay, and you were there as a result of the dispatch, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and when you made contact, did she appear stressed?
yes,
Did she talk to you about what had just occurred?
yes.
Your Honor, with permission, I'd like to proceed with 768.2 or 27C testimony. Okay. Officer, please tell me what Miss Glynn told you.
Ms. Glynn told me that she and Mr. Thompson had an argument in the living room area. She was laying on the couch area and he was using drugs. So they had an argument. During the argument, Mr. Thompson pulled out two knives and he was threatened to stab her. And then he was in a downward motion trying to stab her lower body area as she was laying on the couch. The knives did not penetrate her. After that, she stated that he smacked her face with an open hand one time.
Do you recall her telling you if she thought there was a reason those knives did not make contact with her?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if she mentioned barriers between her and the knives?
I remember her saying that there was a blanket over her and that the knives were hitting the blanket that was on.
Did you observe that blanket?
I don't remember seeing the blanket.
Okay, no further questions.
Cross exam.
I have no questions for this witness.
Thank you, Officer Stelzner. You may be excused. Any more witnesses for the people?
No, Your Honor.
Defense calling witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Argument.
Your Honor, to show assault with a dangerous weapon, first I need to show that the defendant attempted to commit battery on Miss Glynn or did an act that would cause a reasonable person to fear or apprehend immediate battery. Although Miss Flynn was a bit of a hostile witness and admittedly from drug use flipped a few times in her narrative, at the end, it always came back to the same statement that at one point contact was made with her face, that the defendant was standing over her with a knife. And although there's a discrepancy on whether there was swinging of that knife at that time, we know that he proceeded to go into the kitchen and swing those knives in a threatening manner while saying that he would hit her. Your Honor, second, I have to show that the defendant intended either to injure Miss Flynn or to make Miss Flynn reasonably fear immediate battery. I can't think of another reason to be holding a knife and making a threat. It's clear that the intent of the defendant was to cause Miss Flynn to either stop talking, whether it be about drugs or his mother who had just passed. It's clear that that was a notion made to cause her to stop challenging him. We heard testimony from the officer that he yelled at one point that he'll stab her. And initially in the report, what she told the officer was that he intentionally swung those knives over and over, later stabbing the kitchen sink and counter. Third, that the defendant had the ability to commit the battery, appeared to have the ability or thought that he could. This is made clear from the argument, how it unfolded. Going back and forth, we heard there was an argument throughout the house that he went up, hit her while she held the phone to her face, and that he intentionally pulled those knives out to cause her to act in a certain way or stop talking about certain things. And finally, that the defendant committed the assault with a dangerous weapon, in this case, a knife. Additionally, Your Honor, I would request an added count of telephone interference under 750.540 parens 4. First, we must show that the defendant prevented, obstructed, or delayed by any means the sending of an authorized communication through a telephone. In this case, that would be Ms. Flynn's attempts to call 911. We heard testimony from her directly that at the time she called 3 times separately, that Mr. Thompson came up and knocked that phone, whether it was his intention to hit the phone or to hit Ms. Flynn. He was purely trying to stop her from calling 911. Second, that the defendant did this willfully and maliciously. I believe this is shown by the fact that Ms. Flynn acknowledged it was 3 separate times. He was clearly aware of what she was intending to do. She stated that she didn't want to send him back to jail, that she let him know that. And clearly his purpose in making that motion and hitting that phone was to obstruct or delay communication. Because I believe we've met these elements, I would request that the court would bind over on the felonious assault count and an added count of telephone interference with a domestic violence second to follow. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson.
Yes, Your Honor. I would argue in this case that there's not probable cause to bind over on the felonious assault charge. There wasn't any testimony from Ms. Flynn today that there was intent by Mr. Thompson to cause that assault with the knife in the case. I don't think there's any sort of argument that I can rationally make that there wasn't probable cause for a domestic violence to occur, but he's charged with domestic violence and a separate account of assault with a dangerous weapon. Those are 2 separate offenses. And so there wasn't any sort of testimony elicited by Ms. Flynn or that came out from Ms. Flynn that Mr. Thompson was using the knife in a threatening manner or intended to use the knife against her. In fact, she stated that he was using the knife to fix odds and ends, fixing his pants, that sort of thing. He had the knife, he was walking around with it. She stated that he never once came at her with that knife. He just had it in his hand the whole time. She didn't report any sort of injuries or any sort of cuts, anything like that. In regards to the interference of electronic communication, I don't think that there was any testimony elicited from Ms. Glynn that states that she was trying to be impeded from calling 911 or that she was stopped from calling 911. I think the testimony that was elicited stated that Mr. Thompson sort of, I think she stated that he
snatched the phone out of her hand while she was on the phone with 911.
Well, I think she stated,
That's an exact quote. I wrote it down.
Then I must have misheard because I was hearing that it hit her after she hit, it hit her face, it then smacked her phone.
No, well, knocked the phone out in hand while she was calling 911. Then when the prosecutor was still questioning her about that, it developed into the version that you're speaking of. But her initial statement was that he did smack her. It was when she was on the phone with 911 and knocked the phone out of her hand.
So I still don't think that there's enough there for it to show that he was attempting to prevent her from calling 911. It seemed that the testimony was that he was upset about her saying something about his mother, nothing about him like attempting to take the phone away or preventing the call from happening. So I don't believe that there would be enough to go forward on the probable cause of the felonious assault and with the interfering with electronic communications.
Just briefly. Your Honor, in regards to the first argument of domestic violence, we know that Miss Lynn testified to contact to her face with the phone.
Sorry, the domestic violence being as a second offense?
Correct.
It's a misdemeanor. Why are we talking about it?
Correct. I'll move on, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Regardless of what Mr. Thompson was doing with the knife prior to standing over Miss Lynn, it is objectively true that someone standing over you with a knife saying that they will hurt you or hit you or that you need to stop talking would put a reasonable person in fear of being immediately battered. In regards to the no injuries with the assault, this makes sense. At the end of Miss Lynn's testimony, she somewhat slipped and changed her story from the start, where she was much less forthcoming about the argument as a whole. At the end, she acknowledged, I was on the couch and there was, I believe she said, comforter or some type of blanket over her. That's consistent with what Officer Stelgis said, that there was something between her and the knife that prevented an injury from occurring. And that was acknowledged in her testimony as well as the officers. This absolutely was impeding her from calling 911. Again, I won't go too far into it as I stated before, but she stated that she called 3 times and before being hit to have that phone call end, she stated that she had told Mr. Thompson that she didn't want to have to get him in trouble. Additionally, Your Honor, I apologize. I forgot to state that people are also giving notice of a habitual offender fourth notice. Thank you.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for preliminary examination. This is the time in which the prosecution bears the burden to establish probable cause. So that's probable cause that a felony was committed and probable cause that you were the person, Mr. Thompson, to have committed the alleged felony. This is not a trial. They don't have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they're laying out the evidence, there becomes a question of fact that has to go to a jury to determine as to whether or not what the facts are in the case. And if there's an issue that relates to credibility of the witness, the court at this time is in a position to address the credibility issue. We had testimony today first from a Charlotte Glenn. She testified that the relationship she shared with the person she identified in this court as Luther Thompson is that they have a child in common, 45 years of age, and that they are longtime friends of over 50 years. That on or about the date of January 11th, 2026 at approximately 6 o'clock in the morning, between 5:30 and 6 a.m., that the parties were in the home, that they woke up, that she went from the bedroom to the living room because her cable had been shut off. She wanted to watch television, that there was an argument going on between her and the defendant, an argument relative to someone slicing or cutting up the coat. She even showed a cut on the coat that she was wearing today, and that argument had gone on in several rooms of the house, that the defendant was at the time working on some odds and ends or fixing either or both a pair of jeans, a zipper that I believe she said was needed to be fixed and or putting another hole in a belt, which he said he commonly did, and that he had was using the pocket knife or knives to make these corrections or fix whatever he was fixing. She did admit that the both of them were under the influence of cocaine at the time of the alleged incident, that during the argument that the defendant threatened. First, she said it was slap the shit out of her, but she did correct herself and it was slap the hell out of her after the victim made some statements regarding the defendant's mother, which I think on a previous matter, the defendant did recently share about the loss of his mother. And so the defendant allegedly was in the kitchen area at some point with knives in his hand. The victim testified that he was using such knives to, I guess, hit or pound the island in the kitchen. It doesn't sound like the house is a very large space. She did, however, testify that at some point during the altercation that the defendant came towards the area where she was as he was threatening to slap the hell out of her, and that he had a knife in his hand. The court specifically questioned her about the position of his hand when he approached her while she was laying down. She said he had the knife's hand out, which the court would believe sufficient to support the element that's in question here as to whether or not the defendant had or did an act that would cause a reasonable person to fear or apprehend an immediate battery. If I am in an argument or a heated discussion with you as I'm laying down and you have knives in your hand, whether you're under the influence of a drug or not, but especially if you're under the influence of a drug, and you come towards me like this, a reasonable person would fear or apprehend that you're going to cause harm to them with the use of the knife. The court is satisfied that there's sufficient probable cause to assault with a deadly weapon. That will be bound over to the circuit court. The court will note the people are putting the defense on notice of habitual fourth offense charge. The domestic violence is a misdemeanor. The court does not need to address probable cause. That will be bound over. The people are asking to add a count 3, interfering with a 911 call. The elements would be that the defendant prevented or attempted to prevent Ms. Glenn from reporting or making a 911 call. Second, the defendant used force or physical force against Ms. Glenn when preventing or attempting to prevent her from reporting to alleged crime. Third, the defendant's use of force involved committing or attempting to commit crime identified as was previously described was either to threat or a threat to kill or injure any person or a threat to cause property damage. Again, the testimony that we have from Ms. Glenn is that as she was making a phone call, and apparently she called the police 3 times during this ordeal, and she testified that she originally was calling because she just wanted the defendant out of the house. However, the officer Sturgis, testified under oath that he was dispatched for a stabbing, not unwanted subject. And that when he arrived, that the testimony that, or the statement that he received from the alleged victim, which was admitted under 27C, was that the defendant had attempted to stab her. And the testimony in court today under oath from the alleged victim is that while she was making one of the 3 911 calls, that the defendant acted on his threat to slap the hell out of her, and that he smacked her, causing the phone to drop out of her face. She said the phone was to her hand, he smacked it out of her. And so that court finds that there's sufficient probable cause to support that he took an action that would prevent a crime report. So the court will add a count 3 of telephone interference that will be bound over to the circuit court for further prosecution bind over date in this matter is going to be February 11th. That's the date the circuit court receives the district court file. It's not a date that you need to appear in the circuit court. Okay, sir? Okay, sir? Your next court date is going to be a pretrial in the circuit court. You stay in contact with your attorney. Do you have any questions at this time? Okay. Bond was set at 2,000 personal recognizance with a no contact order. You don't have contact directly or indirectly with Charlotte Glenn, nor are you to be within 2,000 feet of wherever she is. That will continue. Any additional matters for the record?
People. No, Your Honor.
You're all set. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Halliburton, 26-00067. Appearance, please.
Steve Wasnick appearing on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan, Your Honor. And the victim is here and it's been requested by defense. This may be a waiver, my understanding. And they would like to make sure the victim is here, so I'll just treat her.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Derek Pitts was also public defender on behalf of Mr. Halliburton, who's in the courtroom. And he will be standing to my right here in a second.
Okay. And the defendant seeks to waive.
Yes, Your Honor, if I could approach the file. Fine. All right, if I could approach.
Yes, thank you. Okay. What is going on? I don't know. Okay, so you're both looking to waive? the people
That's
waive?
correct.
Okay, did you sign the paperwork already?
Yes.
Okay, and so, Mr. Halliburton, you understand that you have the right to have a preliminary examination on the charges, the felony charges of carrying concealed weapon, firearm, possession by prohibited persons, weapons, firearm, ammunition, possession by prohibited persons, and then another felony firearm. And then there's 2 police officer assault. Do you understand that? You understand the purpose of the exam? The prosecutor would have to establish sufficient probable cause that those felonies were committed, and then sufficient probable cause to charge you as the person who allegedly committed those felonies. You understand that? And do you wish to unconditionally waive your exam? Anyone coercing you to do that? Any promises if you waive your exam? Find your waiver to be freely and voluntarily given. Your bind over date is going to be February 11th. That's the date the circuit court's going to receive this file, okay? You don't have to appear in court on that date. Your next court date is going to be a pretrial and your attorney will be made aware. Do you have any questions for the court today? Your bond was set at 2,010%. That will continue. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Do we know where Mr. Lee is?
Just in the hallway at the moment, but don't walk down.
Okay, we need Mr. Lee, and then, because he's on the one with Estrada, correct? Okay, and then, Mr. Etheridge, you're running, are you ready on Randy Joy?
I've got to speak with him, Your Honor, and see whether or not he wants to waive. It's my understanding the alleged victim is here.
Is your understanding what?
The alleged victim is here. to testify.
Okay, my understanding is there was some kind of backup downstairs at the jail. Do we know if that's still going on?
I don't know if it's any changes or not, Your Honor. I was like second, third in line. And only had one room available because of the arraignments, taking up the other room.
Oh, okay, maybe they almost done with the arraignments. Okay. I'll wait to see what we'll do with Joy before we bring him up. What are we doing with Innocent Oriental? Who's covering that?
Mr. Lee is covering one, and I'm covering the other one for Ms. Wanji. I still need to speak with him downstairs. I am here for Ms. Lopez and Ms. Wheaton, which we are, I believe, ready to proceed.
We're ready with both Wheaton and Lopez.
Lopez being an expected dismissal and Wheaton being a plea.
By Mr. Lee. Okay, and you have advice of rights on Wheaton?
Yes.
Let's see, I don't know if I have, okay, this is Wheaton. Lopez.
No, just, I think there's some communication issues.
I'm not following, what's going on with Lopez? So I already withdrew the PA 53. That's what my note says.
I also don't see the PE set for today on our schedule, but regardless, the necessary witness is not here.
Yeah, the PE was originally set for today's date.
Yeah, we will be dismissing.
It was mother-daughter, correct? Oh, the court's not set. Okay. We'll get it dismissed.
I got it. Yep.
On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Raylan Wheaton, 25-03744. Appearance, please.
Anna Buckingham for the people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, filling in for Melanie Wanji today and representing Ms. Wheaton, who is standing to my right.
Ms. Wheaton is scheduled today for a prelim or possession of methamphetamine. My understanding is that there's an offer.
That is correct, Your Honor. Ms. Wheaton would like to accept an offer to plead to one count of use of a controlled substance. We do have a plea form here and an advice of rights for the court.
Thank you. Okay. And so you want to accept the offer and plead guilty to use of controlled substance. There's no objection to 7411 at sentencing, and there is, I'm assuming, a killable of no upfront jail, correct?
Your Honor.
You want to accept that, ma'am? Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, there's an advice of rights and plea information sheet. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you went over these rights with your attorney, correct?
I did, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of those rights? You understand that you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You can maintain your innocence and proceed to a jury trial and require that the prosecutor prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to remain silent at any trial, and they can't use the silence against you. You can waive silence and testify at your trial if you'd like. You have the right to see, hear, or question any witness called to testify against you, and the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. You understand all of those rights that you will need to give up today if you want to plead guilty to the amended charge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anyone coercing you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has there been any threats or promises to get you to give up your rights and enter a guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that by pleading guilty, it could result in a conviction that you may need to report to either your current employer or you may need to report this conviction on a job application.
Correct, Your Honor.
This conviction could also have impact on where you can travel or get immigration status.
Yes, Your Honor.
As to the amended charge of use of a controlled substance, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Is that because you believe you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Factual basis, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Whedon, on or about October 29th of 2025, were you at a location at 4621 South Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And is that located in the city of Lansing, the county of Hingham, the state of Michigan?
Yes.
And while you were at that location, were you knowingly or intentionally in the possession of methamphetamine?
Yes.
And was that found essentially in a sweatshirt pocket on your person?
Yes.
And you didn't have any prescription or legal right to be in possession of that methamphetamine, correct?
No.
Your Honor, I believe we have a factual basis to the underlying charge of possession of methamphetamine.
Any questions from the prosecution?
The people are satisfied with the factual basis.
The court is also satisfied with the factual basis. I find your plea to be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. You must set this matter for sentencing on March 19th at 9 a.m. When you leave, you go down one floor. You're going to check in with our probation department. They're going to get you scheduled for a pre-screening investigation. You will have to undergo a substance abuse assessment, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record?
Not from the people.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Yes, thank you.
Your Honor, did we call the Lopez case, or is that just being nollied off the record?
I just signed it on.
Okay.
That's a nollie for Ms. Lopez.
Oh.
You can make a copy of it. Okay, on the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Pedro Estrada,
Your
or
Honor.
Francisco Estrada Pedro, 25-03134.
Hannah Buckingham for the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee, on behalf of Francisco Estrada Pedro.
You have an interpreter, please state your name for the record.
First name Jorge, Jorge, last name Difuno, Difurno.
You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to interpret in the court completely and accurately and not divulge confidential communication?
Swear.
Thank you. Today was the date that was scheduled for a preliminary examination. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that an offer was just accepted. I don't know if you'd like to recall the case, but I just have to fill out the sheet for you. You'll be pleading to one count of false report of a misdemeanor rather than a felony. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you both speak out so that it can be heard on the record? Okay, the offer is for you to plead guilty to misdemeanor false report. You want to accept that?
Yes.
Okay. You understand that you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty?
Yes.
You have the right to proceed to a jury trial and make the prosecutor prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent at trial and they can't use the silence against you.
Yes.
You have the right to see, hear, or question any witness called to testify against you.
Yes.
And the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. You want to give all of those rights up?
Yes.
Is there anyone coercing you to give those rights up and plead guilty?
No. No.
Any promises if you plead guilty? Are you on probation or on parole?
No.
You understand that if you plead guilty, you may have to report it on a future job application or to your current employer.
Yes.
It also could have impact on immigration status or where you can travel. Okay. As to misdemeanor false report, how do you plead? Is that because you believe you are guilty?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Factual basis, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Estrada Pedro, on or about July 29th, 2025, were you at 5815 Wise Road in Lansing, Michigan? That's the police station. You were at the police station, 5815 Wise Road?
No, the other exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you were in Lansing talking to the police?
Yes.
And Lansing is in Ingham County, in the state of Michigan.
Yes.
And in the report that you made to the police, you said that someone had fraudulently used your ATM card.
Yes.
And that was not true, correct?
I mean, I was there to let them know that it was being used. So they
So you
used it.
gave him permission to use the
O
card?
sea, le diste permiso para usar la tarjeta. They told me they're gonna put some money, but yes.
They told you they're gonna do what?
Dijeron que iban a poner aquí. They told me that they were gonna put some money to buy some shoes
They were gonna put some money
in the
in
car to buy some shoes.
and not take money out?
You know, sacar dinero. Never told me that.
But you told the police initially that you were in possession of the card and that somebody had somehow stolen
Y
your
que
data.
alguien había como robado o tenido para usar. Yes, I was drinking.
But in point of fact, you gave the man your card and were there when he was using it.
Para que usara.
Thank you.
Yes.
No further question.
No más.
You gave the man your card to take money out?
Tú le diste la tarjeta a la persona para que sacara dinero. He told me that he would put $300 to buy some shoes.
Your Honor, ma'am.
Well, I'm asking, so you can't while I'm asking. Did you, but he took money out?
Pero él sacó dinero.
El banco me llama y dice que sacan.
The bank after called me and they told me that someone put, took money out from.
You gave him permission to take money out?
Permiso para que sacaran dinero. No.
Okay, what was your question?
Well,
Mr. Estrada Pedro, when you initially spoke to a police officer to report this fraudulent
You have
activity.
to do it slow because we have an interpreter.
Did you get that? Okay. Did you tell him that you were not present when these transactions were made initially? And then,
I was on the cashier, but after that I wasn't there.
You said you wasn't what?
In the ATM, the chip.
You wasn't at the ATM?
ATM? I was there at the moment.
but initially you told officers that your card was on you and that someone had taken your details and used it.
Because I have two cards.
And then when you spoke with the second officer with an interview, you were confronted with video of you with the person making the transaction. Is that correct?
Yeah, they show me pictures.
And was that different than what you initially told the first officer?
I didn't recall exactly because I was drinking other day.
Okay. My question is, you say you have two cards?
Yeah, I have two cards. I give it to five.
You give, okay, so at the time of this alleged incident, you had two cards.
Yes, I got the two cards.
Okay, and so the officers asked you, did you have your cards on you?
Yes. And I told them that I have one, but when I checked, I didn't have the second.
Did you, while you were at Kroger, later, oh, sorry, when you spoke to the second officer, did you tell him eventually that when at Kroger, you knew the card was being used, but did not know the transaction would go through because you thought there was not a balance on the card?
Yeah, there was no money in the card.
I'm not accepting the plea. He's making it clear that someone took his card and took money off when they're supposed to be putting money on. And there's clearly a language barrier. Did the officer have an interpreter there when he spoke to him?
They didn't have any.
And if the officer asks the questions the way you asked it, then we're gonna get the same answer. That's the reason why I ask questions differently. I'm trying to understand what's going on. He had more than one card. If the officer asked you, did you have your card on you when this happened? Well, then yeah, he had his card on him when he happened because he got more than one card. So that doesn't help us either. He's reporting that someone took money off of his card. Illegal use of a financial transaction device. If I give someone my credit card, my debit card, to put money on it and they're taking it off, that's illegal use of a transactional device. And now you're trying to charge him with a felony because of it? I'm not accepting the plea. Is the officer here?
Yes.
He can have an exam.
He didn't put any interpreter at a point. He was like,
Oh, there was no interpreter when the officer talked to you? Thank you. You can have a seat. And when, I don't know, is Mr. Parsley coming back in here? Because you can approach counsel. Counsel, can you approach?
From your husband.
Case. Thank you. You're all set. Case is dismissed.
I agree.
Thank you.
Innocent or Debbie would just. Do you have to okay, I'll go. I'm gonna go ahead. He was on the morning case with.
Okay, and then Ms. Robertson, you have
That's my understanding.
Slater, it's a plea. We're ready whenever the court's ready.
on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Donald Slater, 25-03886. Appearance, please.
Anna Buckingham for the people.
Karen Robinson, Assistant Public Defender, standing in for Melanie Wanji for purposes of this.
You may approach.
Yes, thank you. I think that at the time of the probable cause conference, there was an offer for use of controlled substance. And so that's what you want to accept, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Is he not eligible for consideration of 7411?
No, Your
That's
Honor,
correct.
but we
Okay.
also are offered, or have an agreement for no upfront jail time.
Well, you did on the last one too, though, so that's why I was just making sure I didn't need to check it. Okay, sounds good. So you understand that you have the right to take this matter to a jury trial
Yes, ma'am.
and maintain your innocence
Yes, ma'am.
and have the prosecutor prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt,
I do.
and the right to question any witness called to testify against you, and the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to remain silent, not have silence be used against you, or waive silence and testify if you like.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to give up all of those rights?
I do.
Anyone threatening you to get you to do that?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises if you plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Do you feel coerced to plead guilty?
Not.
Are you on probation or on parole?
I am not.
You understand that by pleading guilty, it could result in a conviction that you might need to put on a job application, or you might need to report it to your current employer.
I do.
It also could have impact on where you can travel or get immigration status.
Understood.
As to the amended count one of use of a controlled substance, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Is that because you believe you're guilty?
It is.
Actual basis, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. On August 24th of 2025, were you at the Candlewood Suites located at 3545 Forest Road in the city of Lansing, County of Ingham, State of Michigan?
I was.
And at that time, did you possess the drug known as fentanyl?
I did.
And you didn't have a license or a prescription to have that drug?
No, I did not.
And at the time, you knew that it was illegal for you to have that drug, correct?
Correct.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor.
I'm satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. I'm setting the matter for sentencing March 19th at 9 a.m. Go downstairs and check in with probation so they can get you set up for an interview. And provide the court with a pre-sentence report, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record?
Not for the people.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll
Can
meet
you
you.
give me a straw this file back?
Yeah.
Oh, you need the knowledge sign. Yeah. Just trying to figure out which was the name of the officer that was that didn't get an interpreter. Detective Riddle.
I didn't even know that was a process. Sorry about
No,
that.
no worries. That's what the factual
Glad you
basis,
dug in.
that's the purpose of the factual basis.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'll do that right now.
So I was saying they're gonna bring her in there, see that she's here. I didn't know. Oh, I tried to talk to her, she went up, so. They didn't know that, so. After I told him the way, it says that she is, not going back to testify, so she told that.
How you gonna do a bond report and one page says he does not have two or more qualifying failure to appear, and then the next page says he has a history of failure to appear.
You could just slide it. Appreciate it.
On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Randy Tyrese Joy, this is 26-00104 FY. Appearance, please.
Anna Buckingham for the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Derek Etherson, also the public defender on behalf of Mr. Joy, who is in the courtroom standing to my right.
Mr. Joy was scheduled today, and this is for a preliminary examination, count one, interfering with a crime of fourth, committing a crime of threatening to kill, injure, or cause property damage, count 2 and 3, a police officer assault, count 4, 5, and 6, child abuse in the fourth degree, and then count 7, domestic violence. Are we running an exam today?
No, Your Honor, this time, Mr. Joy will unconditionally waive his preliminary examination as the court to bind it over for further negotiation and a possible global resolution with the case that's already.
People will also be unconditionally waiving.
Madam Pro Tem?
Yes, thank you. Okay. Okay, and then Mr. Joy, how are you?
Okay.
And you understand that you have the right to have a preliminary examination today here in the district court.
Yes.
You understand that the purpose is for you to require that the prosecutor first establish that they have sufficient probable cause as to each felony that you're being charged with. So that's probable cause that the felony was in fact committed, and then probable cause to charge you as the person who allegedly committed the felony. You understand that? And you wish to unconditionally waive your exam?
Yes.
Anyone threatening you to do that?
No.
Any promises to get you to waive your exam?
No.
And no one's coercing you to do that either, correct?
Correct.
Find your waiver to be freely and voluntarily made. Your bind over date's gonna be February 11th. That's the date the circuit court's receiving this file, not a court appearance date for you, okay? Your next court date will be a pre-trial, and your attorney will be made aware of that. Do you have any questions about that at this time?
No.
Bond is set at 100,000 cash shorty. That will continue. Any additional matters for the record?
Not from the people.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set. Bring up Oriental. Okay. On the record, in the matters of the state of Michigan versus Innocent Oriental, I have 25-03467 and 26-00147 appearances, please.
Anna Buckingham for the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Innocent Oriental.
Okay, Mr.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, filling in for Melanie Wanji on file 26-147FY.
Okay, Mr. Oriental has two separate files scheduled for exam today. And my understanding is that there's going to be a waiver, is that accurate?
Your Honor, with yes, in addition, on the file ending in 147, people will be dismissing the assault with dangerous weapon charge.
Count one.
Yes.
Find overall use remaining.
Resist and oppose.
Yes,
Correct.
that is accurate.
Okay. Did you want to complete the paperwork already?
We did sign the
Okay,
one.
very good.
Yes, sir. Boy, I don't know if we gave it to the prosecutor. I'm sorry.
I did.
I did.
We're
Okay,
good.
sorry. Yep.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Oriental?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right in each of these files to have a preliminary examination?
Yes.
You understand that at the time of the examination, you have the right to have the prosecutor establish sufficient probable cause that the felonies committed took place and probable cause sufficient to charge you as the person who committed those felonies?
Yes.
Do you wish to unconditionally waive your examinations?
Yes.
Anyone coercing you to do that?
No.
No promises if you waive your exam?
Yes.
You said yes?
No, you don't.
Okay. Your bind over date's February 11th on both files. That's the date the circuit court's going to receive the files from this court, okay? It's not a court appearance date for you. Your next court date will be a pre-trial in the circuit court. Your attorneys will be made aware of that, okay?
Yes.
Do you have any questions at this time?
Court date after February 11th, and Judge Stokes' office is going to send out a notice of meeting next year. Okay.
So
Do you have any questions, sir? No question? Any additional matters for the record?
Not from the people.
Just a small matter, Your Honor. Mr. Oriental reports that the paperwork that includes the name Shakur for him is not accurate, that he says that's his brother's name.
The paperwork, which paperwork are you referencing?
The preliminary exam paperwork that said his name was Innocent Oriental or Oriental, comma, Innocent Shakur. And he says he doesn't recognize the name Shakur.
It's listed as an alias. Lamek Shakuru. It's listed as some alias. It's not listed as his name. So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I would just state on the record that we had originally planned to discuss bond today, but Mr. Oriental has a circuit court file where he's currently being held on. So we are just going to wait for all three files to get to circuit court and we'll adjust them with Judge Stokes at that time.
bond will continue. You're all set. Sir.
I'm sorry.
He was tested days ago.